7 years after Germany scrapped conscription, its defense chief has said employing youth citizens is an option to fill expert posts. Army General Inspector Eberhard Zorn said the forces had to look in all directions in times of a lack of qualified personnel, such as doctors and data specialists. The armed forces have been beset by years of underinvestment. Germany aims to increase its military by 21,000 personnel by 2025. It has also pledged to raise its defense budget from 1% to 1.5% of its gross domestic product by 2025. In the face of criticism from President Donald Trump that it does not meet the NATO target of 2% of GDP, Defense Minister Ursula von der Leyen said in an interview on Thursday that 182,000 uniformed soldiers were now employed by the Army, a rise of 6,500 in 2 years. Within 7 years, that should reach 230,000. She said the Army was now made up of 12% women, and this year alone, 1 in 3 people applying to be an officer was a woman. Jan Zorn told the Funk newspaper group that, of course, the Bundeswehr needs personnel, and the Army had to push hard for a suitable generation. Although youth citizens in uniform were an option to be examined only in specialist fields, the media group said the government had already consulted EU partners, and that most had reacted cautiously, particularly in Eastern Europe. Under post-World War II laws, soldiers in the German military have to be German. Parliament's Commissioner for the Armed Forces, Hans-Peter Bartels, said recruiting youth citizens was already a kind of normality, as many soldiers already had dual nationality or an immigrant background. According to the Funk Group, more than 900 foreign citizens are already employed by the military in civilian roles. The spotlight fell on military shortages late last month, when Chancellor Angela Merkel had to fly to the G20 summit in Argentina by passenger plane because of a technical failure involving one of the military's 2 long-haul planes. Ms. von der Leyen said one or 2 long-haul planes would be got, as the 2 existing planes aged 18 and 19 were too few. The technical failure involving Mrs. Merkel's government plane has been blamed on German airline Lufthansa, according to a report in Der Spiegel. When the pilots tried to reboot the A340's electronics during an in-flight power failure, they were unable to restart the radio, according to a confidential report cited by Spiegel. The pilots had not been informed of no instructions to restart the radio after Lufthansa's technical subsidiary installed a digital communications system in 2009. A popular tourist attraction has become the latest Chinese company to show solidarity with Huawei's chief finance officer, Meng Wanzhou, who was arrested in Canada on 1 December. Shannon Mountain Scenic Park in eastern Hainan province said it would waive the $9.65 ticket fee for anyone carrying a Huawei phone. Ms. Meng, who was given bail in Canada, faces extradition to the United States on charges of breaking Iran sanctions. Her case has upped tensions with China. Use Huawei phones. Shoot grand photos on the mountain. A notice on the Shannon Park's social media account said, "We wish friends around the world who support Huawei's success and bliss." The offer would last until 29 December, the South China Morning Post reported. But it was met with some criticism among China's social media users, who claimed it was discriminatory. Huawei phone owners are being offered other enticements too. They can get a 20% discount at a border in Beijing, seen in Beijing. Bring a Huawei phone and get 20% off. Similar to this story we covered yesterday, https://QQXL19YPQLPIC. Twitter. Sokolov. End of Twitter post by @LuOceanG. At least one firm has threatened to penalize anyone buying Apple products. A few days ago, Manpad Shenzhen-based LED and display manufacturer offered subsidies to any employees buying Huawei phones. It also pledged to fine anyone who bought an Apple iPhone. United States prosecutors alleged Ms. Man
46
used the Huawei subsidiary called Skycom to evade sanctions on Iran between 2009 and 2014. They also allege she publicly misrepresented Skycom as being a separate company from Huawei, and that she deceived banks about the true relationship between the two companies. Ms. Man, who is the daughter of Huawei's founder, has denied any wrongdoing and said she will contest the allegations. Life of Huawei's high-flying errors. The United States has been investigating the Chinese telecoms giant, the world's second-largest smartphone maker, since 2016, believing that it used Skycom to bring United States manufacturing equipment and millions of dollars in transactions to Iran in violation of sanctions. Ms. Man's detention comes amid an increasingly acrimonious trade dispute between Washington and Beijing. China is angry at her detention, saying she has not violated any laws. Beijing has threatened severe consequences unless Canada releases the executive. Since her arrest, 2 Canadians, a former diplomat and a businessman, have been detained in China on suspicion of harming national security. United States President Donald Trump said last week that he might intervene in the United States Justice Department's case against Ms. Man if it would serve national security interests. I'll help achieve a trade deal with China if I think it's good for what will be certainly the largest trade deal ever made, which is a very important thing. What's good for national security? I would certainly intervene if I thought it was necessary, he told Reuters news agency. Canada reacted by urging Mr. Trump not to politicize the situation. Our extradition partners should not seek to politicize the extradition process or use it for ends other than the pursuit of justice, Foreign Minister Chrystia Freeland said. 2 Scandinavian women tourists have been found dead in Morocco, with cords to their necks, the country's interior ministry said. Both bodies were found near the town of Imleo in the High Atlas mountain range, near the foot of North Africa's highest peak, Mount Tepco. The women, from Denmark and Norway respectively, have not yet been named. A police investigation has been launched into their deaths, the Interior Ministry statement said. A poacher has been ordered to watch the Disney film Bambi repeatedly after he was convicted of illegally killing hundreds of deer. Missouri hunter David Barry must view the film at least once a month during his year-long sentence. He was arrested in August along with 2 family members for killing the deer, taking their heads and leaving their bodies to rot. Prosecutors said it is reportedly one of the biggest poaching cases in Missouri history. On top of the jail sentence, the illegal deer hunting, Judge Robert George ordered Barry Jr. to view the Walt Disney movie Bambi, with the first viewing being on or before December 23,
2018
and at least one such viewing each month thereafter. During his spell in prison, the 1942 cartoon about woodland creatures shows a hunt to kill the mother of eponymous deer character Bambi. The months-long investigation, spanning several states, led to the arrest of Barry Jr., his father David Barry, Sr., and his brother Kyle Barry. According to a local newspaper, the Springfield News Leader. While the total number of deer taken illegally is unknown, Lawrence County's conservation agent Tandy Barnes said it could be several hundred. Barry Jenner received a year-long sentence in Lawrence County Prison after pleading guilty to illegally taking wildlife. He has also been sentenced to a 1-to-0-day term in Barton County Prison for a firearms probation violation, and both he and his father had their hunting privileges revoked for life by the Missouri Conservation Commission. The United States military says it has killed 62 fighters from the Islamist group al-Shabaab in 6 airstrikes in Somalia. 4 airstrikes on Saturday killed 32 militants, and a further 2 on Sunday killed 28. It said in a statement, "These were the deadliest air attacks in Somalia since November 2017, when the United States said it had killed 100 militants."